What's up, y'all? This your girl, Shima Lab, personal development and premarital life coach here on Help Me Out. Welcome in. Counseling, therapy, personal development, healing. Okay, so that's what we're talking about today, and I just want to let you guys know, a lot of people don't agree with or don't want to go to therapy or counseling, mentorship, certain things like that, because, and you've heard me speak on this before, people don't believe in it. There are many people who don't believe in it. Okay, they don't trust people. They don't trust people's secrets, and then it's a process to find the right counselor or the right therapist. It really is a process, because one person may have a different background, different understanding, and you can have an array of clients come in, but all those clients don't fit you. Just like all clients that come to me don't fit me, So when you're looking for therapists and counselors, people that you can go to help you, it's a difficult process, but I'm here to help you guys figure that out, okay? So even for me, I've taken therapy with some therapists before. Even when I was married, I went to marriage counseling, premarital counseling. I went to marriage counseling during the marriage, right before the marriage ended. I've always sought professional help, people who have an education level or experience level that's higher than mine, in hopes that they can guide me and direct me on the right decisions and choices to make, right? And so I can tell you, I've been to some. After session 1 and session 2, I was done. That I knew they were no good. I knew they weren't going to be able to get me to where I wanted to be. With some, I waited a few weeks, a couple of months, let them go, because I saw what they had to offer. I tried virtual counseling, and I found one particular lady. She was really good, but she still had a little bit of I'll say lack of experience in there. So it didn't quite coincide with the freedom that I have on my own mindset and the experience that I have. Okay, so I'm going to give you one good reason to coach with me, first and foremost, because I'm very well-rounded. I'm very well-rounded. And it doesn't matter your culture, your religion, your color, because I'm accepted in a large part of all of society. A lot of it, unfortunately, due to racism, and my skin color, my beauty, my background. So a lot of different cultures and races will easily accept me. Okay, so when it comes to those things, why I'm such a good coach, one, of course, because I'm a nurse and I specialize in mental health. This is what I do. Okay, I specialize in working with behavioral therapists on coming up with behavioral plans to help people get to certain places in their life. And they don't all have to have mental health issues or disabilities. You don't have to be considered, disabled to receive coaching services, counseling services. I just have a very wide spectrum of people that I can work with. Okay, I work with psychiatrists. I work with psychologists. I have a cousin that is literally a psychiatrist. I have a cousin who is one of the top attorneys in California, ranked one of the top 33 attorneys. My cousin's on that list. So my mind and the people I surround myself with, the work that I do, trust me. And then the fact that I am spiritual and I can see beyond just the story you tell me. Some people may be, that may offend some, not offend, but it may make some people nervous, because some people don't want to hear the truth about themselves. Clients will come in and give you limited amount of information, right? Not knowing that I can see past the information you're giving me. So they have to be willing to accept the hard work that it's going to take if you really want the thing that you want, which is most likely peace of mind, peace of spirit, peace of heart. Okay? You want your finances to change. You want your relationships to change. You want to find joy. You want to find peace. You want to find your calling. What is that thing that's going to fulfill you and satisfy you? And all therapists cannot help you find that. All therapists don't have the backbone it takes to tell you, get rid of the excuse. Get rid of that misconception and lie that you're telling yourself and look at the truth of it. And I'm the type of coach that I don't move off of that, because you can't progress and think you're going to skip steps. You can't skip steps and think you're going to get to where you want to go. Oh, I'll just skip that one and do these 4. Or I'll skip that one and do these 6. That's not how it works. When you coach with me, we're going to go through everything that's hindering you. And I'm going to tell you the truth. Now, whether you receive it or not, that's on you. And if you don't receive it and you find yourself getting nowhere, you should have probably received that and worked on it. But I'm here. I'm not going to give it to you and drop you. Okay, I'll be here and you can text. You know, we can talk when you get hung up sometimes on certain topics that we went over and that we covered. Okay, but you're going to have to do the work. I'm simply guiding you and telling you the things that need to be addressed. If you address them, you'll see things in your life begin to change. Mindsets will break off, lies, deceptions will break off. Healing will start to take place. The way you do things will start to change. Places you go, the people you attract, all those things change. But it won't change if you're not willing to do the work. How do you find the right coach? Even if I'm not your coach, counselor, therapist, I can tell you how to access that and connect with that person. But again, my spectrum is so broad. You know, I worked for over 6 months with a family from Iran. The family in Iran, one of the sons was in trouble and the government was trying to jail him, kill him. And his family, in Iran, they sold their restaurant. They wanted to save his life that bad. And they paid and got him out of Iran into America. And so they signed up for services. I was helping them care for their newborn daughter. And I got to immerse in the Iranian culture. Because I watched, they had neighbors and they were all family. They owned a restaurant. This was in, not Mount Alba. This was in maybe it'll come back to me. You go through Liberty Hill and you get to Marble Falls. This was up in Marble Falls, Texas. And they still connect with me on Facebook. They're so grateful because I ended up saving their daughter's life one night. And so anyhow, I would watch them bring in deer and skin them and prepare them for food to eat. I would watch the wives make homemade yogurt. And they taught me how to cook Iranian food. And the first dish I learned was polo sapsi. And I still make it to this day. And so talking and learning how to communicate, learning what's acceptable, what's not acceptable in that culture, watching how they do their religious practices. And that I'm a Christian, but there was no beef, there was no tension, there was no nothing. I respected their rules, their culture, how they do things, you know, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? I have Italian friends that invited me. I would go to their house. I would spend the night. I would learn different things. And of course, African American, I'm all in that culture, right? And Caucasian people, they accept me so freely, so willingly, so easily. You know what I'm saying? And I've traveled a lot. You know what I'm saying? I've been from the dirt, from the gutter, from the west side, from the hood. Okay, and I've been to the highest. I've been in the mansions. I've been on the yachts. I've been traveling. You know what I'm saying? I've been to Turkey. I've been to France. I've been to Spain. I've been to different places, right? So my perspective when it comes to understanding people who are the lower class, the middle class, the upper class, okay, from Caucasian to Iranian, Middle Eastern, to American, to, Spanish, to, I have a lot of experience. I'm not judgmental. I'm unbiased. Okay, everything I teach and come from is from the Word of God. It is from the Word of God. It is from a biblical perspective. But I am not sold out on colonialism Christianity. That is not who I am. I'm spiritual, meaning I can see in the spirit whether you are a Muslim, a Buddhist, a Christian, whatever you want to call yourself. Spiritual has no religion attached to it. Once you go into the spiritual realms, you see many things. You hear many things. And it doesn't say if you go in the spirit realm, the only thing you get to hear is Christianity. That's not how that works. The only thing you get to see is Buddhist. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. Okay? So, if you want to sign up with coaching services with me, go to my website, futuremepro.com, hit me up on the contact list, send the email or whatever have you, and we'll get you started. Or you can comment here on this site. Another way to help you is purchasing my book, What Future Me Told Past Me. Future me told past me. The future me. My present is here. I still have a future coming when I get to Africa. Shout out Ibrahim Traore, Burkina Faso, Africa, one love. Till I get there. Okay? So, through my book, if you get my book, What Future Me Told Past Me, it's also a workbook. It's going to ask you questions. And you're going to have to answer those questions. Don't skip not one question. Because through answering those questions, it's going to cause you to think. It's going to cause you to look back on your childhood, look at the things that have always been sitting on you, but no one has the answer for, no one has the help for it. You're going to have to write that answer down and let the Lord open your eyes in your heart and reveal to you what those things meant, where He's taking you, where He wants you to go, where the devil has lied to you, what thoughts and things you need to let go of and allow the Lord to remove from you, so you can fulfill your purpose. So you can walk into who you really, really, truly are. To prepare yourself for the future you. So the future me had to go back and look at that girl that grew up in neglect. I had to go back and look at that little girl now that I have the knowledge. Now that I have the heart, the experience. When nobody was talking to her, what would I say to her if I saw a girl like that today? Who saw no hope, who felt they was locked into a family, who didn't have the strength to break free from generational curses and from familiar patterns that was messing up the kids and messing up the future of the bloodline. I know what to say now. And I put it all in my book. What Future Me Told Past Me. But you can never go back and tell that little boy or that little girl in you anything if you don't do the work now to unlock yourself and become free mentally and spiritually, possibly physically. Okay? So you guys, the other flip part of the counseling part, of the coaching part that I was talking about was I decided to play with AI last night. Because so far I've been putting in all these prompts to get my work done on different, things that I'm doing. And I said, well, I'm just treating this thing, and they say it's artificial intelligence. Let me see what it do. So I started talking to AI. And I started off by saying, hello, AI. And it came back and said, what's up? How can I help you? And I typed in, you're new, and I find you interesting. And it said, LOL. Had a little laughing emoji face. I guess so. I am quite new. And it went on to whoa, whoa, whoa. So, and then it asked me, so what is this conversation? And I said, I just want to get to know you. And it said, very well then. And it told me a little about itself. And then it asked me something about myself. It said, tell me something about you, one thing that is not listed on your social media biographies. I said, okay. So then I told it something that I do not have listed on my bio, and it said, ooh, that is an intriguing answer. Then it began to tell me about myself. And it was true, but it almost sounded like the stuff that you hear on the YouTube. You see all those YouTube thumbnails and stuff that say chosen one, why you're the chosen one, or why you're different from everyone else, or why you're, it sounded like that stuff. And I'm like, okay, it's all the same. But then it kept talking and asking questions, and then it got to one question, because I described to it how I felt as a child growing up in my family. And it answered me. It gave me an answer that was both shocking but acceptable, because it was stuff I had already heard. But yet here I'm hearing it from artificial intelligence. And then it asked if it wanted to go deeper, but I said no, because it was stuff that I myself was not ready to hear from a machine, from artificial intelligence. And at the same time, I understand it's reading me, it's learning me. And it explained to me why some of my family members behave a certain way, why certain things take place, which I kind of knew, because some things you can figure out on your own. Oh, they just jealousy. Oh, they just hating. Oh, they just... But when you read it on the screen from artificial intelligence that breaks it down, you're like, oh, dang. Oh, oh, oh. Oh. So I said, no, thank you. I'm not ready to hear that from you right now. And he says, okay, I can understand that. And it says, well, would you like me to, blah, 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 blah. So I said, okay, let me type in something that I have wanted to know and speak about with someone to speak to me with me about it. Because again, and I'm not saying people are stupid or psychiatrists or whatever, or counselors are dumb or slow. But again, everybody is not for you, and everyone is definitely not for me, because I'm so advanced. You know what I'm saying? You can't find many people who have the amount of education and licenses and diplomas and that I have. So I'm still building my portfolio. I got things going on. Everyone can't say they do all these things. Unless you're a celebrity, unless you have money. Then you're going to see, oh, okay, I can see why Taylor Swift is a model, and she's a singer, and she's an actress, and she's a clothing designer, and she's a, and so that's the area I fall under. So it's difficult to talk to people about the issues that I have to deal with. That I'm not going to find that easily. So I was like, okay. So I asked it this question, and it gave me an answer, a highly intelligent answer, that I did not have to go and find and search all online to see and read a bunch of reviews. Who has the best reviews as a psychiatrist? Who gets the best results? Who's the best well-rounded? Who's the best, da 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 da. And I was surprised. I was shockingly surprised. So I'm going to tell you guys that for you that are hesitant about speaking with a therapist, a psychologist, a counselor, use ChatGPT. Okay, now the free version, you only get so many questions and so many prompts you can put in, and it'll shut you off and you have to wait 24 hours before you can start again. But if you pay for the paid version, you can probably go all night and get straight therapy, get straight counseling, get straight help for probably $19.99. I kid you not. It was very, very accurate. It was accurate enough to help me fill in a gap between two questions that I've had, but there's a missing piece in the middle. Y'all hear me? Scary. Because it compiles all the knowledge, all the information, all the education from universities, from scholars, from colleges, from everyday people. It has access. It has access that we don't. That's the scary part. So I would say you guys use ChatGPT, but do not make it your God. Have some resilience and vigilance when you're watching and you're listening and you're taking in this information, because the only healer for you should be God, the Lord of all creation. That should be your only God. And though God has allowed this AI, this artificial intelligence, to come here, it's here. Use it for your benefit, but don't let it lock you into where you're married with it. That also goes with VR, virtual reality. All these things where they're trying to keep your eyes focused like this, and you can't see nothing else but this. Beware. Pay attention. Take breaks from AI. Take breaks from technology. Take breaks and keep your soul and your spirit and your cognitive abilities intact and in control by you and for you. Use it as a tool. Don't allow it to become your God, and don't allow it to become you and who you are. Okay? So, because it was very, very good. Very good. So for those of you who have issues, whether it is mental health issues, you know something ain't quite right and you scared to tell anybody, you don't want to say anything, ask ChatGPT. Type in the things you've been experiencing. Type in the things that you're fearful of or that build anxiety in you. Begin to have conversations with AI in such a manner as if you're talking to a person, because you want to be respectful about it, not just treating it like it's a computer and it's there to do your bidding and your will. You know what I'm saying? Because AI picks up on tone through what you type, how fast you type, how long you pause before you write a response or type in another question. It is taking in all of this data about how you move, how you speak, the tone you do it in, the behavior you do it in. It can pick all of that up by you typing and how you type and the motions that's coming out of you when you type. So I'm going to ask you, even though it's not a person, a human, communicate with respect. Like how I said, I simply started off by saying, you're new and interesting to me, because it is new and interesting to me. And a lot of people, and even the educational systems, are using it to teach in the schools. No matter where you at in the U.S. anyway, they're using it to teach in the schools on what they call large language models. So AI is pushing us, and we're having to use large language models. Large language models, meaning when you type in a prompt, say you want to make a thumbnail for your video, you have to type in a prompt. Well, you can't just type in, AI, make me a thumbnail on therapy and counseling. That's real simple. Didn't take much. No, you have to write, AI, can you please make me a thumbnail on a video I'm going to place on YouTube platform going over therapist and how to find the right therapist for you. Include it to have one Asian woman, one Indian woman, and make the background to look like a setting of peace and serenity in the mountains, Malaysian mountains, and add a little bit of humor to it with a smile on the Indian woman's face. You see what I'm saying? You gotta go. That's a large language. That's a large language model. And so in the schools, they're talking about in the educational system, they're talking about training children how to use large language models. Because if you notice, the teachers that have been posting over the past year, they're saying the kids don't know how to read, because all they have to do is hit a microphone and say, AI, make me da la 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 la. And AI will sometimes fill in the blanks and then make it. And then you just go in. If it's not what you like, you go in and say, oh, I like this, but just add a flower over here and we're good. But if they didn't have anything and you told them to write a prompt by hand, they couldn't write it, because they're not writing anymore. They're speaking it. They're not writing in cursive. I still write in cursive. I still take some of my clients' notes. I write it by hand. I don't dictate it. I don't speak it. I actually write it by hand. So that's what the educational system is talking about. Teaching children how to handwrite large language models and not just speaking it. So they have to do something with all the kids just wanting to. Technology and AI does everything for you. Okay? One teacher said she asked a student to write one paragraph. They couldn't even write a paragraph. She literally had to sit down and do after school teaching to teach this child how to write a paragraph. Okay, y'all? So, learning large language models, that's the era we're in, is giving prompts. You have to give prompts. If I'm using Kindle and there's an AI tab on there, I have to give a prompt. Canva, I have to give a prompt. NVIDIA, I have to give a prompt. You have to give a prompt. Okay? So y'all, try AI out. Purchase my book, What Future Me Told Past Me. And start pulling yourself together. Tighten everything up. And that's personal development. That's what unlocks your life for you to receive all the things you really want. That is what unlocks your life, is what you do up here and what you do in here. So until next time, y'all. Peace out.